Okay. So you can just start with your introduction and then meeting me. And then if you come to a stopping place, I'll ask questions. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. And anytime.
I'm Stacey Morgenstern, co-founder of Health Coach Institute, and I have known Bryan for maybe 15 years now. Um, Bryan, um, I would say that every single conversation that I've ever had with this man, he pretty much introduces me to a new version of reality that I hadn't thought of myself, whether it applies to business, um, communicating with people, leadership, vision, mission, or certainly in my personal life, in my relationships, my friendships. And it's really, really handy. I think everyone needs a Bryan in their life, someone that you can call on the bat phone and say, I've got a conflict, I've got a problem, and they're going to help you see it in an entirely new way.
So you've chosen a career, a path for helping and creating coaches. What is it about coaching or coaches that that touches your heart?
I've created a career path where I work with thousands of coaches. I've trained over 30,000 coaches. Um, I've got a team of over 200 people that I've had to manage over these years. And one of the things that I think is the biggest innovation in leadership today and in companies, in big companies, large size companies, is that um, managers need to be more like coaches. And um, we're just in a different world where we need people to be able to give each other feedback, and we need people to be able to receive feedback, and we also need support and guidance rather than just delegation. The traditional command and control practices, I think, is moving towards something very different, a model where the manager is really becoming that of a coach. um, and so that's something that I really love about coaching, is that you're learning different communication styles, working with all different types of people, um, and mobilizing them. And when you're running a business, that's key.
Thank you. That's perfect. What's one specific thing, if you can remember anything at all, that where Bryan maybe has influenced your thinking about coaching or introduced you to a new aspect of coaching?
I think one place where Bryan has really influenced how I think about coaching is is this idea of a bag of tricks, that when you're working with executives or board members or shareholders, is that you've got to have a sort of wizardry in your dealings. Um, um, and what I've learned from Bryan is that you've got to pull from a deep bag of tricks. When one thing isn't working, try anything else. And Bryan is someone who has continued to fill my bag of tricks with new tricks. So you never run out.
That's perfect. And then just lastly, if you knew that an executive coach was considering the Lifetime Trusted Advisor program, they're going to embark. It's going to be like 10 months long. They're going to pay about $10,000 this year to do it. What advice would you give for them if they're considering it?
That who was considering it? Say that again.
So this is an
Oh,
executive coach,
executives. Yeah.
yeah, or business coach, yeah.
Um, for anyone considering LTV, I would say it's a no-brainer. It's it's a deal no matter what. You've got to actually think about what change in the short term can do long term for team, for culture, for innovation, for fresh energy. Um, and so when you're making an investment and setting budgets, especially for a large size company, you've got to think, what mentorship are we bringing in that's going to set us up for the next 3 years and beyond? And so I think anyone who is considering this LTV coaching, sorry, will you tell me what it's called again?
It's the Lifetime Trusted Advisor Program is what it's called.
Lifetime Trusted Advisor.
But you can just call it LTV. Either one is fine.
Okay. Yeah. Anyone considering Lifetime Trusted Advisor, there's nothing like this out there. I think it's a no brainer, and start putting together the budget to make it happen. It's just it's a no brainer.
That's perfect.